following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network.
He buries it. The Cougs have taken the lead. This place is going to pop off.
This is the Cougar Basketball Hour.
I think there's just an expectation level in the program.
Feel good about our talent. Really like our guys.
That's left, slices right. Hammer time. Right down the center of the pipe.
I have pride in being a Cougar.
Right side, Mullins wants the three, connects. Jay Mullins. Ball ahead to Jones, catches, rises, hammer time. Right-handed flush and a flex.
This is the Cougar Basketball Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zeppos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Matt Chazanow.
We are live here at Zeppos. It's a special Monday edition of the show. It's wonderful to see all of our people here at Zeppos. We've got ourselves doubleheader, double dip tonight. It's Coach Smith here for an hour, and then Coach Ethridge here at 7 to 8, and then just so I don't forget to mention it, Coach Ethridge generally Monday, rest of the way 6 to 7, and then you and I Tuesdays 6 to 7. As always, this is a travel issue and a whole situation. Coach, great to talk to you.
I was ready to go to 4:30 today.
Ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, I heard we were going to 4:30.
Is that right? Was that the word? There was something
but
we should. Maybe we should. We can
it's all right.
compete with football all night long. I love competing with football. I think it's fun.
We're covering both.
I'm not even sure they're competing with us. Is a better way to put it. Really,
good point.
Live here at Zeppos. It was a split week with the Oregon schools. You got the best of the Beavers, and then a heartbreaker in some ways. Maybe that's an overstatement. A hard game against the Ducks. One where the shooting numbers felt like it was going to come down to the mean. Generally, these things come back to the average. It never really fully did, and you were frankly critical of the defense. There were open looks, and then also they hit a banker late, and they hit a prayer with 1 second left, and the shot clock late.
After I had a chance to watch the film,
what do you think
about what I said after the game?
You were frustrated.
Just wasn't. Like I said, it was our worst defensive numbers statistically since I've been here.
Was it really that was?
I think so. The Utah State last year, which if you recall, that wasn't very pretty either. Sometimes it happens. But in Oregon, they're very good offensively. They spread you out. They got small guys that can do that. But just felt like we didn't have enough grit, enough fight to try to take things. You got to take something away, and we didn't really. We kind of gave them everything, and they made us pay. And it's hard to shoot as well as they did, even just in a horse game, but we just didn't feel like we were able to take much away, period.
Well, and I don't mean to pile on in any way, but it was odd early. I looked over at Eggs early in the break. There was a corner three real quick, and then another corner three, I think the far side. They both were open.
Yeah.
Which is it just felt, it was like, wait a minute, that's different, and it didn't feel quite right.
No, one was a blown coverage in transition where we had one guy that didn't know we were in zone, and the other one was end line out of bounds, where we just blew the coverage. Guy got to the back of, I won't name names, but he's French. He got to the back of the guy, got to the back of his head, and it's like it happens, but it just happened too often for us.
And the Ducks are pretty darn good.
Yeah, they're good. They're going to exploit. You can't. That was a little bit of our talk today too. It's just like, hey, we got to. There's not many guys you can hide. There's no one you can just not guard in this league. You're going to find everybody, especially this team coming up, very similar to Oregon. A lot of good perimeter guys that we can't hide any bad defenders on any of their players. They'll expose you.
USC's had an odd year. They came in with more hype nationally for off the court, or frankly, familial reasons.
But both. I mean, they were
very highly recruited. Right, yeah.
Very good, but good talent.
Yeah.
And a lot of hype because of the off-the-court stuff.
Sure. Yeah, you've got highly recruited kids, Iwuchukwu included. Fans didn't really get to know him last year because he was had a health issue. He came on the scene late. He's a 5-star. Bronny James. I was told LeBron will be there at the ball game at Galen Center.
Very well. I've actually been at games with LeBron.
You have?
Watching this. Oh, the high school game.
Oh, just recruiting.
Yeah, recruiting.
Here, move your mic up a little bit. Let's move this back.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah.
He'll he's a really supportive dad, kind of neat to watch, and he's really just dad when he's at the game. I know it's kind of crazy. I was sitting in a gym, and it's like it was LeBron James, and I think Dwayne Wade was there too or something, but they're being supportive of his son, and to his credit, you'll see that his son really handles himself well. He's very, almost super serious and very good solid player. And just to be growing up in the bubble he's been in, then you can imagine. But he really handles himself well.
He's a great athlete.
Yep.
What kind of player is he? He's a scorer? He's kind of a slasher?
He's kind of like a mini version of his dad.
Well,
it's good. No, he kind of runs like him. No, obviously not as good, and I don't think he'll ever be as good. But he just kind of makes the right plays, both sides of the ball. Good defender. Maybe even a little better, a little more motivated that way. But he's like he makes good decisions. He can pass. Good all-around player. Can dribble, pass, shoot, drive, defend, and rebound. So he's pretty good.
I wonder what it would be like if it's just a little bit different if your dad's LeBron James, he's courtside. Andy Enfield doesn't like a call. LeBron also doesn't like a call. There's a little more impact than the typical father when arguing for a call against an official.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
I mean, it's just what it is.
I know. I'm sure it'll be.
It's part of the deal.
Yeah, no question.
If I were an official and LeBron James, I'd be like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Hopefully we got some Tony Padilla on the game.
He wouldn't care?
No. I think Tony Padilla would be the other way.
Tee him up?
Yeah, like, don't talk to me that way.
That'd be great.
I don't know you.
I'd love it. I would love it. That'd be great.
No, we need some really big egos on that game.
That'd be great. Oregon State, 65-58. That was sort of the inverse of the Oregon game. That was a grinder to start, and then you got them in the second half. Played really well.
Yeah, we did. Honestly, our I don't know if we could be a little tired because after going out to the mountain schools, played on a Sunday, and we got off to a really sluggish start. In neither game we didn't rebound the ball on the offensive end very well. We shot the ball well both games, I think, but didn't defend as well as we could have late in that game. The Oregon State overall the game was pretty good that way defensively, about 30 minutes. But and they're hard to guard. I mean, Washington they gave up 50 to Pope and Bilodeau the next day. So we were fortunate to get Bilodeau in foul trouble, and we kind of held Pope down. 20 seems like an easy number for him to get to these days.
Bilodeau was he did a great job against Bilodeau. He got in foul trouble. I'm even trying to find him in the final total.
I think he was like 1 for 6.
It
was and he came in off a 26-point or 27-point game against SC. So we did a good job there.
Yeah, Pope went 38 minutes against you guys. He just doesn't sit. He's a really special player.
Miles is working on some of the same numbers. We need to give him a few more blows. No, it's hard when they're playing that well.
It's hard to play 38 minutes. And it's hard to take him out.
I don't know. I coached at St. Mary's. We never took guards out.
How much did pace of play affect that? Does it make it harder or easier?
It became a badge of honor. Like when you became all 40. Like I was like, we had these two guards, Dellavedova and McConnell. They were both Player of the Year in the county, and it was just like. It's like kind of crazy. We don't ever take them out. Literally, it'd be like 40 and 40.
Wow.
And it's hard to do.
It's tough to be a backup to one of those guys mentally in practice.
Ask Jabe. It was tough. It was tough. It's hard because they'll play 6-7 guys, and that's it.
Yeah. Interesting. Hey, at U.S. Bank, we know when you invest in a community, the community invests in you. We're committed to providing high-quality, innovative products and services that meet the needs and demands of our customers. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Odd week. We've got an odd scheduling week, a midweek road game, and then a home game Saturday. Negative degrees, literally, just in time for Arizona to get here.
Perfect.
Just in time for the Wildcats.
Yes.
Now, Tommy Lloyd's familiar with it, but some of the Wildcats may not be.
No, I don't think that's bring it. You know what I mean?
Perfect
Winter's
timing.
coming. That's been our theme.
Perfect time.
Yes.
Perfect time. We'll take a break, come back, we'll talk ball. It's the Galen Center coming up. Travel day tomorrow. The Cougs take on the Trojans Wednesday night. We'll take a break, come back here live at Zeppos.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 50 daily departures to 18 nonstop destinations provided by 6 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
The tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Pac-12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/Pac-12 Sports.
You're listening to Cougar Basketball on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Washington State Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show.
Drives in and hammers a baseline rocket.
Live from Zeppo's with Cougar head coach Kyle Smith, here's the voice of the Cougs, Matt Chazanow.
Back here live at Zeppo's, we are talking ball with Coach Smith. We are getting set for the split week. It's the Trojans and it's the Wildcats. It's a road and it's a home game. Go to the Galen Center on Wednesday night, and kind of an odd night of the week to play. And then this was the week that the league set up last year in December. Last year there was an earlier set of games, and so they're doing it here.
I'm not exactly sure why Arizona isn't playing anyone midweek.
Is that they're not at all?
I don't think so.
Interesting how that works
out. At least
out.
Coach Shaw told me that, so I assume he's right.
We'll have to confirm that one.
It's standard. We're the only school that stayed in the Pac-12. We get this
funny how that
great scheduling option. Thank you.
Interesting. Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest. More slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. All right, we got some write-in questions here for you, Coach.
Let's do it.
Let's get right to these. Format's going to be a little bit abbreviated. Our last segment here tonight will actually come from the studio through the speakers. We'll step off. We'll let Coach Ethridge and Steve Grubbs hop up here. So,
perfect.
So are you taking the team to Zeppo's for Big Lebowski night after the Arizona game? I guess, is it Big Lebowski night officially here after the Arizona game? It is. It is Big Lebowski night.
I'll be here. I don't know if our guys understand. I watched the Big Lebowski when I was sick over Christmas break.
I love that. Did you have a white Russian while you enjoyed the
Caucasian?
Yeah, I love it. It's a great movie. It's an all-timer. Look, the rug did hold the room together.
Oh, so good.
It really did. It really did.
Environment.
If you throw a ferret in a bathtub, it's a very strange situation.
No one knows what we're talking about.
So good. I hope they.
Coen brothers.
Somebody does.
Any Coen brothers fans?
Somebody
out there?
does. Yeah, we've got some head. There's some thumbs up in the air. That's good. Hey, we have a deep bench, as in a lot of players. Who might be a surprise contributor later on in the year? You think?
Well, is that counting Watts?
Well, I was about to say Isaiah last game, yeah.
Yeah, I think Isaiah's he was starting to come on right before Christmas, too, and he had rolled his ankle in the Grambling game, and then he had a little rib injury before Boise, and that's, when Jay bailed us out there a little bit. So it was nice to see. That was the one big positive against Oregon, is that Isaiah played in a big game and played really well, and I love that kid. He's just fearless, got a great attitude, and good athlete, and I think just has a really bright future.
Doesn't need a long time to warm up in the game to shoot.
No.
He's a catch-and-shoot guy.
He's a catch-and-shoot guy, and we were coming down in transition, that first three shot, and I just let it fly. And he kind of was off balance, and I was like, oh. And then it went in. I was like, great.
He gets a lot of lift on his shot.
Oh, yeah.
He rises up.
He's a prototypical throwback two-guard.
Yeah.
He's got good feet. He can run off a screen, catch and turn there. A little like, Ray Allen. But, you know what I mean? Like, he could, kind of, he's quick. He can really separate. And that's a value. A little bit, small version of, like, Madsen for Utah. Like, can really get, separate, catch, get your feet set, and raise up and shoot it.
Smooth athlete, really quick. And am I correct in thinking that the actual true jump shot, like the jump up, that's been less common lately?
Yeah. for the last 30 years.
Right.
I
It just
mean,
feels...
whatever. Not as many guys. I think it's almost. There's only a handful of, we call them flickers or whatever. Those guys that can just. Just ball comes out of our hand quick. Yeah. And there's, like I said, like Madsen, Badgem a little bit, not quite. There's only a handful in the league.
Yeah.
Like none of the. Oh, even Boogie's not quite that. He's just off the dribble and he can flick it. He can really shoot it.
Yeah.
But he's kind of a set shooter, like off the catch, just, not like a. But,
right.
There's only a handful of them out there.
To your point, like the greatest, at least in the contemporary sense, the best contemporary one was Ray Allen.
Yeah.
The really rise up and shoot.
And Ray Allen's, and Steph Curry's not that at all.
No.
He's the best shooter ever.
Right. Yeah, no, Steph, very different.
He's just like set shooter. He jumps a little bit, but doesn't need to. But it's about how it gets out of your hand.
Interesting.
Clay.
Yeah.
Clay's one.
Yeah.
He's a jump shooter.
Yeah.
He can do it both ways, but he could, he's not quite at the same speed, but.
Right.
But he can run out. He can run, catch, turn, and explode up, and that's hard when you're 6'7", 6'8".
For sure. Yeah.
Jalen a little bit.
Jalen Wells.
Yeah, he gets him off.
Yeah. Really, really good shooter for a guy who just quite candidly, the rotation's odd.
Maybe everyone else is odd. Maybe everyone else is odd.
That's fair. Fair.
He makes a lot of
it. It goes in. No, it's great.
Maybe everyone else is doing it wrong.
That's fair. That's totally fair. It's spinning this way. It drops right in.
That's always say, like, we'll watch some of the European guys say they do that. I'm like, so maybe we're doing it wrong.
Oh, do they? Is that what? Is that?
Just some. They're just different. Some of them have different mechanics or whatever, and just like, maybe you better watch. Like, their footwork's different for sure.
Really? How so?
Well, you've heard of a Euro step, right?
Yeah.
They were doing that stuff before. They just kind of play the way they pivot, and they travel a lot when they come over.
Like they get away with it, or they don't. They get called for it.
We call it travel here, but they eventually fit. But they pivot on both feet, stuff like that. They do a little different thing, and it's kind of, it must be the way they're taught, I imagine.
Interesting.
It's a little different than why we teach it. We're more front pivot, single, like Michael Jordan be like one, always pivot off his left foot,
spin around,
whatever, jab with his right all the time. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Last week of the show, you said Clough needs to know he's a good player.
Yeah,
and he had a great game. Who else needs to have that kind of self-belief?
Isaac a little bit. Like, he knows he's good, but Isaac can do a lot more things. He's really, really talented guy. That just, I wish we had another year with him, just because he's bumping up a couple levels and having to see. A lot of defensive coverages and that, and it just takes a little time. And but just understanding that he's doing okay. Like, he gets taken away sometimes. It's all right, man. You got to give yourself up for the greater cause. But I think Miles is not in that category. Miles is
no lack of humility.
He feels very comfortable in what he can do. So anyway.
Washington State University would like to thank Crimson and Gray for their continued support of Cougar Athletics. Head to bookstore.com to get the latest in Cougar apparel. That's BKSTR.com. We'll take another break. We've got some social media questions. We have, of course, trivia coming up live here at Zeppo's as we're talking ball, getting set for the Cougs heading to USC, heading to LA tomorrow. We're live here at Zeppo's.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and, of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
This is the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Carbon monoxide detectors save lives because if kerosene, propane, natural gas, or wood isn't burned properly, dangerous carbon monoxide may result, and it can build up indoors without you knowing, as it's invisible and odorless. So protect yourself by installing UHL-approved carbon monoxide detectors. If carbon monoxide is present, the detector will alert everyone to get out of the house, where you can safely call 911 for help. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
The Clearwater River Casino and Lodge proudly supports Washington State University Athletics, the premier venue for events and entertainment, located 4 miles east of Lewiston, Idaho. Come hit the jackpot with us, with over 600 gaming machines, saltwater pool, restaurant, and giant screens in the stadium sports bar. Owned and operated by the Nez Perce Tribe, our hospitality is legendary. Stay, play, and get away with the Clearwater River Casino. Go Cougs!
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Floats up for three, got it. Drives in, dunks it down, an exclamation point.
With Coach Smith, here's Matt Chazanow.
Back here live at Zeppo's, we're talking ball here with Coach Smith. We get set for the Trojans and then the Wildcats coming up. Cougs are 10-5 and trying to get a win on the road. Always hard to do in the league, trying to do it in the Galen Center. USC mentioned they've had kind of an odd year. We'll do a little more opponent preview in earnest here in a little bit. We've got some social media questions for you. Actually, directly related to one gentleman who just walked in here into Zeppo's. Two just walked in, but one specifically. Yeah. How much time until the Smith kids start receiving letters from WSU coaches? Very fair question from Go Cougs and Seattle Sports Ben.
Well, they're both. One's really good academically.
Great.
So there could be some there. The other one, we're going to have to go to Spokane Community College to probably get some interest.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He's got a different path to get to Wazoo.
All right, fair enough. Hey, listen, it's sometimes a circuitous route to get to more than one way to get to a destination.
Look at that haircut he's got going.
I love it. I love it. Kyle's son here in attendance. With all the countries represented by our team, have you been able to do much traveling to meet and see prospects and their families?
You know, I hate to confess.
North Macedonia?
I have yet to be.
Nigeria?
I've yet to be the continent of Africa.
France?
I've been to France, not to see Kamie. So I have a wonderful staff that handles a lot of that stuff. I greet them when they come here on their visits.
That's great.
That's my job.
That's great. Do we have any multi-sport athletes on the roster? I think that's a yes, but not at Washington State.
No.
Just played multiple sports in their lives.
Who do we have?
Well, Kamie, I thought, played something.
Soccer,
I think
maybe.
so, yeah.
Does that count? It's like
I think it counts. I mean, I don't know the level he played at.
You know what? Ruben played soccer, too, I think. He picked up basketball late.
Is that right?
I don't know how he would have looked out on the soccer field.
Probably outgrew that a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah, unless he's he's
like Akeem. He should have been Elijah. As I told him, I'd say, were you a goalie? He might actually have been a goalie. We talked about it.
Yeah. Like Tim Duncan was a swimmer.
Yeah.
Before his pool blew away, literally.
Is that really?
A hurricane came in and blew Tim Duncan's pool away in the Virgin Islands, so he had nothing else to do.
That's amazing.
And play basketball.
That's where he ended up playing. Yeah, he was a heck of a player.
He was okay. Yeah, he was all right.
I'm trying to think who else do we have that's a...
on these last year, but Mohamed Gay was a soccer player. A really pretty good soccer player.
Ben Olsen played
football. Was a quarterback last year.
Yeah.
Tom Wilkinson. Tom, always great to see Tom. No questions tonight. Saturday's game was one of the best I ever attended in a loss. I almost vomited when they made the bank three at the end of the shot clock late in the game.
Makes two of us.
Yeah, three of us.
Yeah, they're right in my throat as we still got it down 2 with the ball with a minute to go after that.
When you got it down to 2 with the ball, did you think you had it?
Well,
I thought you had it.
I don't know we had it. I just thought we were going to have a chance to tie it up, and they came up with a
Yaki had it. Right.
No, the no call.
Oh, right.
The no call on Miles, which,
need
enough to say.
I got you. Yeah. Delzer, when a shooter goes cold over multiple games, is your advice for them to just keep shooting, or does your advice vary from player to player?
Varies player to player, but most guys, you know what? I'll just leave unnamed. There's been one guy I've been just encouraging to shoot. I might go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it away.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll
red light.
Yeah, no more.
Yeah.
And then maybe
he's going to
shoot it. They shoot it.
Just
maybe
change it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I almost feel I've had that. I remember several guys where I'm like, I literally, when guys open for 3, if I think they can shoot, I just say let it fly. I really do. I'm pretty aggressive about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, sometimes I feel like it's too much pressure. Like, I
have to do this.
It's weird.
Reverse
psychology.
psychology.
I think everyone's different. I think everyone's a little different.
Ed wants to know, have you considered giving Clough isolations at the top of the key? He reminds me of a young Jeff Pollard with a jump hook in his bag.
He's a couple inches bigger than Jeff.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
We do have a little set that we do run for him when he's for smaller out there a lot. Kind of what we did with Muhammad, our little 50 package that we run. So we've done it probably 8 to 10 times this year, maybe more. But it could be something as he develops. It's really good offense. He's a really good decision maker up there at the top. And again, like I said, he doesn't quite understand how good he can be and how good he is. And hopefully he, wakes up to that idea that we want him to be that guy.
Feels like that stems from the mountain trip, hitting those jumpers.
Yeah. You can see him growing.
A couple buckets in Salt Lake. Yeah.
Yep. And then really just I was on him today. I was like, look, you got to handle success. You got to be able to do it as a starter or one of you guys. Ruben was really good. I didn't play him enough probably last game, and he was maybe, he's a freshman. Took a little. We'd like to start him just to give us that defensive energy and kind of that competitive and get on the glass. But he would, he came to me and said, hey, think Oscar should. I said, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
Just whatever. It's just fine.
Yeah.
And they're good teammates in that. And they're both going to handle the position. 40 minutes probably going to be those two anyway. But
they probably also recognize starting, finishing.
It doesn't matter.
It's 20 minutes and 20 minutes. It's 20, whatever, 25, 15.
No. Yeah. And so I said, probably to finish more often than not with Clough if it's about making free throws and doing stuff like that. And if it's about getting stops, it'd be Ruben. When you get stops and get off the board, and that'd probably be Ruben.
I saw Chinyelu practicing like a 17-foot jumper.
Yeah.
Maybe practicing is a bit of a stretch. He's kind of just getting jumpers up. It looks pretty good. It's just not quite ready for.
You know what? I think the speed and experience is going to be. He made one today, nice little jumper in practice. But that just even his free throw doesn't look bad. But he's in games. There's a lot of controlling his emotions, and that's not abnormal for a young big guy to try to figure that out. But I think as he gets more confident, getting contact. He likes contact, and we need him to get to the foul line, all that stuff. But that's and he'll work at it. So a big jump from his freshman to sophomore year, I would anticipate.
Remember the first fadeaway baseline jumper Muhammad took and made in Beasley Coliseum, and I remember thinking,
it looks different.
That's a pro. It's just a very uncommon.
Yeah, 6'11" guy being able to turn on, shoot, make turnarounds. No, it looks. That was hard when coaching like. It's a great shot.
Yeah.
It's not some
Don't
consistent.
take it.
No, it's not something consistently you can win with yet.
Right.
But if he hasn't been healthy, but if we can get him healthy, and it's something that when he's 25, 26 years old,
you talking about the Atlanta Hawks and Muhammad.
Not Ruben, but UCLA, you'd be like, oh.
Well, Ruben.
Yeah, why didn't Smith win more games with that guy?
Well, there were a lot of wins. But I'm excited for him and all future successes. CG87, great question, Coach.
Oh, jeez.
Can we get more alley-oops? He wants more alley-oops. Why not?
I'm in favor.
I would think so.
Kamani's had a few thrown to those guys in transition. He likes to throw them.
I like that. I like it. This guy's changed his Twitter handle to Clough Bucket.
I love it.
He's an Oscar guy, and I love that. And he also want to know about Oscar shooting green light. We covered that. Will he shoot off the dribble? They're Oscar
Clough maniacs, man. They're out there.
I love it. I think he's a point guard.
He's Cloughsters. Should we call him the Cloughsters?
Yeah, I love it. Is there any Ty wants to know if you get slow starts, if you have consistent slow starts, does that inherently call for a change of starting lineup? Yeah. Okay, there you go.
It does. Usually does. Something, and that's never really been an issue, but we've been going through a little not pleased with that part. So something's got to change, our mindset or how we're approaching it, or the lineup change probably.
Coors Light Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. Celebrate responsibly. Trivia next, live here at Zeppo's Talking Ball with Coach Smith.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill.
2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Pac-12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/Pac-12 Sports.
You're listening to Cougar Basketball on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Bro, you go hard for the WSU Cougs.
What do you mean?
You're literally wearing a Coug jersey that you bought from the Coug store with your Coug debit card. And you don't stop talking about how every time you use your card, GISA donates to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
I guess I do go pretty hard for my Cougs.
If you go hard for your Cougs, get your WSU card today at GISA.com. Go Cougs!
Hampton Inn Pullman is just a short drive from the WSU campus. Centrally located to restaurants and shopping, they've got you covered for all your lodging needs. With their spacious rooms, famous Hampton waffles, a cozy outdoor patio, a gift shop for all your Cougar gear needs, and the friendliest staff in town to make you feel right at home. Visit HamptonByHilton.com to reserve a room for your next trip to the Palouse. Coug owned and Coug managed. It matters where you stay. Hampton Inn Pullman, Hilton for the stay.
Have a question for Coach Smith? Send a tweet with your thoughts to Matt Chazanow using the handle @M_Chaz. That's M_CHAZ. Now, back to Zeppos.
Back here live at Zeppos. It's the world-famous trivia segment here, but we've got ourselves just so much on the line. No hyperbole, maximum pressure. It's just there's a huge...
Is it about sports this
It's a
week?
huge situation. We've gone...
UFOs?
I have 5 questions.
That's a lot.
2 of them are not sports.
Okay.
1 last week was not sports. We've upped that by 100% increase in our non-sports.
Okay.
Although one of them's kind of non-sports, maybe 2.5. In fact, this first one here, let's get the music fired up. All right, just feel the pressure. Drama.
Yeah, I know.
High drama.
I feel it.
I get it. What was Oregon State called when it first played Washington State College in 1907?
The Dams.
No, incorrect. It was Corvallis State Agricultural College.
Oh, I thought we were going for the mascot. If you would have told me like that, I would have had that Corvallis State.
You would not have. No.
Thank you.
Really?
I thought you meant their mascot. I thought they were called. We said, what are they called?
Please.
What are they called?
And Hallett brings you up for it too. Unbelievable.
What are they called? You didn't give me a chance. Like the university is called. You should have been more. What was the school called?
All right. Well, it is. All right. So
what was the name of the school, not the mascot?
So we'll give you. We'll give you half.
Just eliminate that question. 0 for 0.
We'll give you half a correct answer.
Yeah, that was poorly questioned. Poorly worded question.
So this is what it's like during a timeout when you're talking to Tony Padilla. That's how
poorly worded question, Tony.
Yeah, right.
Give me another one.
All right, let's fire it up. Isaiah Watts' grandfather.
I know him. Slick.
Donald Earl Slick Watts.
1 for 1. Yeah.
Is the first NBA player to lead the league in which 2 categories in the same season?
Steals and assists.
Got it. Bring it up.
Yes.
Well done. How about that?
Yes.
1976.
Yes, he also rocked the headband to the side.
Awesome style.
We're going senior night for Isaiah. Then he's going to rock it like that.
Senior night? Oh, in like 3 years?
Yeah. I'm trying to keep him here for 4. I'm trying to get. That's the deal. He gets to wear it. He gets to wear it or shave his head. And put the crimson headband on for
It's on his. If you Google Slick Watts, that's what pops up.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah,
1976.
It's great.
So much.
I was 7 years old at the time, or 8, whatever, and I remember on my Nerf hoop with the tilted headband.
So
it's
awesome.
Unbelievable. Coaching his grandson now
with a franchise that should never have disappeared from.
They're coming back that year.
I think they're coming back.
Yeah.
I do. I think they're coming back.
I think Seattle's fine with just the Kraken.
I don't think that's true.
No,
I think they, I'm not nothing against the Kraken, but they want the Sonics back also. No. All right, third question. Cougs are going to the Galen Center on Wednesday. In 2028, the Olympics will be in Los Angeles. What sport with a net is tentatively scheduled to be housed in the Galen Center? What Olympic sport
With a net?
With a net. That's a hint.
There's several.
But you get
it's volleyball.
Incorrect. I'll give you another. You want another crack at it?
I have no idea.
Badminton. You're supposed to be you're supposed to Olympic badminton.
I was going to say netball. That's just not an Olympic sport.
No, what is netball?
Well, you'd have to be from Australia or New Zealand to understand what netball is.
Is that right?
It's more a Commonwealth sport.
Is that right? Is that that little thing with the little teensy little soccer ball where you kick it over the net? You know what I'm talking about?
No. It's like they play. It's kind of like a basketball game without dribbling.
Okay.
Stay with me. I think it's 3-on-3 or 4-on-4.
Okay.
And then they have a ring and a net, no backboard.
Interesting.
And mostly women play it.
Interesting.
Australia.
Sounds
netball. And it's actually a good sport for like learning like footwork actually for basketball because you have to like land on two and pivot and throw, pass, catch.
Cool. Netball. So Oscar
you learn
knows,
something.
Nick Hadber and Oscar know.
I think it's more women.
But they probably know it. They just
for sure know it. Sure know it.
Okay.
For sure know it.
All right, two non-sports questions for you back to back. Totally random.
I'm going to text Oscar and tell him that
curious.
Matt thinks he's a net baller.
I love that. Then.
Yes, go ahead.
I look forward to his response. Okay, completely random. Couldn't be more random. Based on nothing. What does Lego, like
I actually know this.
What does it stand for? Do you know what it's?
I used to know it, yeah.
That's the question. Do you know? Do you still know?
It's a Scandinavian company. I want to say Swedish.
It's not Swedish, but it's
Norway. Norwegian?
It's Danish.
It's Danish. Yeah, you're right. It's Danish. Yeah. No idea what Lego stands for.
Okay, so it's I'll mispronounce it. It's leg got, which is play well in English. Is the translation.
Oh gosh.
So it's a family company
get out
in Danish. It's Legat, and so it's
that was your trivia
they went
question.
Lego. What's wrong with that trivia?
No.
That's a great trivia. There's nothing wrong. You just didn't get it right. I think that's a fine trivia question. Thank you very much. Fine.
You're better than that, Chaz. You're just better than that.
All right, let's go with fifth question here. This is food category.
Who edits these questions for you?
There's a whole committee. It's a whole large.
They need to meet tomorrow, and we got to do better.
It's a whole group of people.
We let Chaz know we gave too much authority on these things.
What is the hottest naturally occurring pepper in the world? Do you know? The spiciest pepper?
I might. I would just say cayenne, but I don't think
it's not cayenne. It's not cayenne. It's the Carolina Reaper, which is South Carolina. Now, I had to put a caveat on this, which I know you'll appreciate.
Yeah.
They actually have manufactured a hotter pepper in a lab from the Carolina Reaper, but that's not found in nature. So it does exist, but it's not like a natural thing that would grow.
What is Carolina? There has to be a better name than the Carolina Reaper.
I, for one, will never try
jalapeno, and then there's the Carolina Reaper.
It's in South Carolina.
It's got to be like a certain type of pepper. It's not called a Carolina Reaper.
Oh, that's what it's called. I don't know what to tell you.
Stupid.
I mean, there's also weird names for mushrooms in the wild. There's like the chicken of the woods or something.
I'm going to do some Googling to clean this up.
Yeah,
it might be. It could be a cayenne.
Maybe it would be a type of cayenne. Carolina Reaper. There it is.
They're Yakov seeds.
Yakov seeds?
I don't know.
Okay,
that's what it says. That's the first thing that came up.
Yeah, there you go.
Whole Carolina Reaper.
I would never. Would you try? Do you like spicy food?
I do. Not that would be a little much.
A little red pepper. Yeah, it's too much.
I'm guessing that's too much.
Too much. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. We'll actually, our final segment is next, and then we'll get Coach Ethridge on here in just a little bit. It's the Cougs taking on the Trojans and the Wildcats on Saturday. We're going to talk a little bit of ball here, talk about USC, talk about Arizona next.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Washington State Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
A lot goes into Washington State athletes reaching peak performance for game day, including the right nutrition. At Wilbur Ellis, we know that healthy crop performance requires the same attention to nutrition as an athlete. That's why we use benchmark data points to maximize crop productivity through nutrient efficiency. For 100 years, family-owned Wilbur Ellis has been partnering with Washington's farmers to grow healthier crops. That is the winning ag experience for Cougar Nation, locally provided by Wilbur Ellis.
You're listening to the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
This Cougar football tailgating moment is brought to you by Canoe Ridge Vineyards, proud partner of Washington State University Athletics. Smart Cougar tailgaters know to pair award-winning Canoe Ridge wines with a crowd-pleasing pregame meal. Your mealtime roster will score big points with Canoe Ridge wines backing it up. Canoe Ridge Vineyards, representing the best of award-winning Washington wines with more than 85 critical scores of 90-plus points. Visit them at their Walla Walla tasting room or at canoeridgevineyard.com. Go Cougs!
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step.
Back here live at Zeppo's, we are talking ball. It's Coach Smith as we get set for the Cougs and the Trojans. That's a Wednesday nighter, and then a Saturday for Washington State, home for Arizona. Arizona is one of the top-ranked teams in the country this year. The USC Trojans have had an odd year. They're 8-7. They're 2-2. They are supremely talented. They are off back-to-back home wins over the Bay Area schools. They beat Cal 82-74. They beat Stanford 93-79. Easier said than done. Stanford's had their moments this year. Prior to that, they had a very odd skid. They lost 5 of 6. Their only win was against Alabama State. They won by 20. It just wasn't what you thought it would be, considering hype and blah, 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 and media expectations and things that I know you guys don't care about, that coaches don't care about. But Collier's a projected lottery pick at the guard spot. Boogie Ellis, a first-team All-Pac player. Iwuchukwu, 5-star guard. Bronny James. DJ Rodman, a lot of known commodities, a lot of experience that seems to maybe still be figuring things out, or maybe they just did against the Bay Area schools.
They look pretty. I think probably a little bit when Bronny became eligible. It always can mess with your chemistry a little bit, but maybe they're figuring things out. Hopefully not too much. Right. But their perimeter is. I mean, for Kobe Johnson's very talented
Kobe Johnson.
Yeah. So their perimeter's excellent, and I think Oregon's is very good, obviously as well too. So. They're similar the way they play. They're just hard to guard. They're going to be they really have kind of 4 point guards. And, with Boogie maybe just be a scoring machine, but Collier's a true point. Kobe Johnson's kind of a 6'6" blender, point guard, really good passer. And then Bronny kind of play that too. He can play combo, or he played point guard in AAU stuff. Watch him a lot. So a lot of ball handling, a lot of skill. And then, they got a couple centers.
Josh Morgan's still there, I think, right?
Yeah, Morgan and Chukwu, and then they play Rodman at the 4 a lot. And he's a little undersized. Know him well.
Sure, heard of him before. Yeah.
Then they got Hornery, or they haven't quite figured out, but I think Hornery would be their 2 4s that they'll play.
So 8, 9 guys you just mentioned.
I think the 4 bigs and then 4 guards I mentioned.
Yeah.
Putting DJ as like a big, like a stretch 4.
Yeah, and I'd forgotten also. It really was derelict to not mention Kobe Johnson. He's one of the league's best defenders. He's one of the league's leaders in steals.
Yes, he's really underrated. He's kind of the guy they don't talk about. I was like, he's got an NBA potential as well.
He's big.
Yeah, he's 6'6", and just really smart, clever, plays steals a lot. And, it's hard to scout that guy that can just – He'll kind of be on the weak side. He can kind of, you throw a pass, and it's like, he just ran through it, and it's like you can't really scout that.
You almost had him a couple of years ago. Was it 2 years ago when Boogie hit that shot? Or it might have been last year.
2 years ago, Boogie hit us in a tie game.
Yeah.
And then last year, we had it pretty tight, and what's his name? Peterson hit a tough shot over. They just hit. We did a good job. We made them beat us. Go to their one-on-one game, and we had Mo matched up with Peterson, and he had a really tough step back. And it's like sometimes you got to tip your hat. That losing like that isn't. You can live with that. Where our effort was good in that, but the Oregon getting 14 threes last game, that's a tough way to That's not our MO.
Top 3-point percentage D in the pack, actually, coming into.
It was.
Yeah. When you talk about teams that have had premier talent in the country, from Okongwu to Evan Mobley to Isaiah Mobley to Peterson to Collier, it's like they've rolled them through. They've had fantastic. Boogie Ellis, I mean, I don't mean to.
No.
As
I said, like Kobe Johnson's really good.
But
there's been just some
pushed,
other guys that even drawn more attention. They've done a really nice job of it's good marketing. SC, LA, and they've done a really good job of bringing in good players and have good run of success.
Now I'm really curious. I need to do the deep dive on which schools play midweek road games in the pack. Now Coach Shaw has really piqued my interest.
I don't think Arizona's playing anyone this week at home or on the road.
So it's just a one-game week for them that's not a rivalry week.
I got to see this.
Yeah, we need to.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up.
It'd be hard to get to the number of games you need to be able to.
They might have a national TV, I don't know, and I don't know.
A little CBS curveball or something
in
there?
There's some reason to make it harder on us. It's just there's some way they sell it. Let's see here. They play. Today's
the 8th. Today's the 8th.
Their next game here says January 13th.
Coach Shaw is correct. The math of that, we'll have to get to the bottom of that. Figure out what's going on with that. Let's talk a little bit about them. A little bit about Arizona. I know it's looking ahead, but you and I won't chat again on the record until next week.
Okay.
One of the best teams in America.
Yep.
Caleb Love's a transfer from North Carolina.
Yep.
He's a great scorer by reputation. They have an elite transfer from a team that was in the national title game last year for San Diego State. And then they have a lot of returners. They have Umar Ballo, who fans remember as being enormous down low. This is a team that won at Duke in Cameron Indoor Stadium this year, and they're a national championship contender if that's something you're going to do.
Yeah, no, they're. I mean, they've been what they've been the last couple of years. To be honest, I think they've been right there, and they just, to their credit, they've been able to. Even though they got some different faces there, they kind of seem like they've kept it at the same level, top 10, top 5 in this case this year. And it's tricky the way it works. You don't know who they had till May,
Right.
And it was like, oh, are they waiting on? Oops, it was Caleb Love, who was like committed to Michigan and then flips it at the last second. So, they'll be tough. Boswell's made a nice step forward. He wasn't even playing that much this time of year last year, and he's a good player.
Yeah, Boswell's an interesting player. He's won a lot at every level he's been at. He's not the athlete that like Benedict Mathurin is.
No.
Different kind of player. He's a little slower, frankly, right?
He's
Fair?
just really steady, strong, good mind, tough, not going to beat himself, and kind of good rudder out there to kind of keep and he can shoot, and he's a good defender. Just he doesn't beat himself, and that's good quality to have at your point guard.
Tommy Lloyd, you've coached against him for many a year. Feels like same scheme for them. They want to try to score 95. That's what. That's
you know what? He's in a situation where, as he was his previous stop, where they have he's a good recruiter, and they've got a lot of bells and whistles to attract good talent. I think they're always going to have good talent, and he understands that if you have an advantage in talent, well, it's in your best interest get more possessions, and they play really fast, and they have good depth, and they're going to wear you down, and they really try to put you get you in foul trouble, and then it's really hard to keep up when they have they've got a big guy I think from Phoenix that I think would start for about 10 teams in the Pac-12 that doesn't see the floor. I think Dylan Anderson or whatever. I think he's pretty talented. But that's just saying they just bring waves of them at you inside and just keep that pace on you. So you got to play well. Obviously, we had some success down there last year, and hopefully we can replicate that at home.
It feels like you're looking for. I mean, you're the league's leader in shot blocking right now.
Okay.
You've got Clough, you've got Isaac, you've got Yaki, you've got great size.
Yep.
And to some degree, Clough and Rubin, these guys are now trying to make that leap, that adjustment here on the fly, a little bit of seat of their pants because it's their first pack experience, not for Yaki, but for the other three. And they're trying to figure out, all right, Umar Ballo, a little bit different, right?
Yeah. Everyone. I mean, Brandon Carlson.
A little bit different. A little bit different.
Yeah. 25-year-old 7-footer that's running off screen shooting threes. So, I anticipate that we'll keep getting better, but it's hard to really we'll prep them, we'll show them, we'll put in practice, but it's one thing then they have to go down and do it. And didn't like our start, and like I said, against Oregon, but I liked our comeback. I liked our way we got the lead back in the first half. But there's all part of things. And like Miles went through a tough mountain trip where the scout, here they go. We're going to get after this guy. And when we got back home, he handled himself much better. Now we're going to go into the circus that is going to be the Galen Center with LeBron there and his son and that stuff. And how are we going to handle ourselves there is going to be the next challenge.
Will that make the players nervous, you think?
Excited.
The Cougar players excited.
It'll make them excited. I'm sure. It's LeBron. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's going to make them excited. I'm trying to calm them down. I mean, I'm sure they'd want to play well.
Yeah,
the best player of their generation, and second best player of all time.
Was that your stance on it?
You can never touch Mike. To me, I don't care. You can do whatever. You're just never touching Jordan.
Broadcast brought to you by McDonald's. Order ahead in the McDonald's app to save time and score 20 chicken McNuggets and 2 medium fries for only $10.99 every Coug game day. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, Matt. I'm sitting here.
Well, we're going to take off after this.
I'm out?
You're out.
Oh, good.
Jared Prenghuber, our man behind the camera, Jerry Kylo, gets us on the air. This is a break. For those listening or watching, there's one more segment, but then after that, it'll be Coach Ethridge, and we are off. You're off the hook, Coach. You're good. Thank you, guys. Great to see you. Go Cougs. Washington State at USC coming up Wednesday night from the Galen Center.
Hey, Coug fans, Tuesdays at Northern Quest are now officially Tuesdays with a capital 2. Together with Coors Light, we're doubling up the fun for Camus Rewards members every Tuesday with 2 times the points, $2 Coors Lights, double promotion entries, $2 food specials, and too many more resort-wide deals to list here. So grab your Camus Rewards card and tackle your Tuesdays with Tuesdays. Only at Northern Quest. Details at northernquest.com.
Check. Oh, yeah. There we go. All right. put those.
Well, hello and welcome to Zeppo's in Pullman, Washington, as it is the Cougar Basketball Hour Part 2. And with us, it is the head coach of Washington State University women's basketball program, Kamie Ethridge, as we have been listening to Kyle Smith and also Matt Chasnell for the first hour. And now we get ready for Kamie Ethridge, and we'll talk some Cougar women's basketball. And Coach, hey, hello, how are you? Good evening to you.
Thank you, and good evening to everybody here, and exciting to be here. And It's cold outside, isn't it?
It is a little cold outside. Also a little bit of snow outside, but we are here inside Zeppo's, where it's always a great atmosphere and a great time. And Coach, here we are, the inaugural Cougar Basketball Hour here for a regular season show for you and me. I think it shows a little bit about where this basketball program has come. It shows the people are invested in this program. It shows the people are excited about this program. It shows what you've done with you and your athletes that you've recruited, and also the way that this program has turned around and gotten to an NCAA tournament, gotten back to an NCAA tournament. How excited are you with the direction of this program and the fact that we are here amongst Cougar fans and a chance to do this here tonight?
Well, it's another step in just establishing ourselves, continuing to build on the beginnings of building a winning tradition, and clearly having a fan base and having interest in your community and people wanting to know about your program. That's so important. And obviously our team feels very responsible to be great role models and to be out in the community. And obviously they represent us so well in everything that they do. Again, anytime I can put our program in the forefront of people, we want to do that. And I certainly want to put my players in front of them.
Certainly we're going to talk a lot about this year and the 2023-24 campaign, but just about everybody I run into, whether it's been this season, whether it's been between last March and this season, can you talk a little bit about that run you guys had in Vegas? And again, I know we've got other goals and we're trying to top that again this year, but what a magical run it was to win a Pac-12 championship, win the Pac-12 tournament, and then just how that has got you going into this 23-24 campaign.
Well, again, I don't know. I mean, so many things fell into place, but, we played pretty good basketball all year. I don't know what our record was, 9-7 or something like that. It wasn't spectacular as far as, the conference seeding. I mean, obviously we were a 7 seed when we go into the into the Pac-12 tournament, but we were playing good basketball, and that was in the midst of, losing Charlize for some games here and there, and still we were competing well and we were playing well. Just late in the season, we had opportunities to beat Colorado. We were up forever, 19, I think, to be exact, and lost that. And they were a higher seed than us. And we had a big lead at USC and lost that in the last game of before that. And then at UCLA, who was ahead of us in the rankings too, and we pulled out a win there. There were so many things. We were winning games against the people above us, and I'm just telling you, there was just something about we go into the tournament, we don't play a great game against Cal, and find a way to win that, and then you play Utah. And we have Ula in the house tonight, and Ula made huge baskets in that game that just gave us enough offensive firepower. And we all might remember that Ula passed it right back to Charlize in a last-second play and put us up by 4 or 5, I think. And again, we were able to finish that game off. And then you go into Colorado, and we'd played Colorado so well, we just all thought we could beat them. And obviously then we're playing UCLA. So the magic was just getting by Cal. Sometimes it's just the luck of get by that first round and just rely on who you are and what you've been. And I really do believe that's what we're trying to do this year is, we're not winning some games right now, but we finally, this weekend, I thought showed just a ton of life and potential and grit and all the stuff that last year's team kind of did in that run. And so we can't live on last year anymore. We got to move on. But I think this year's team, I mean, it's going to be hard to win any game because everybody's really good. But I really like the response that we had against Stanford. Played them as good as we've ever played them. And then clearly should have beaten Cal. And but for a couple of calls or a couple of things that happened, we don't win that. But a lot of good things.
Yeah, 11-5 so far this season. You mentioned the weekend that was, and the Stanford game, 74-65. You guys were were down early in the ball game after kind of a rough end to the first quarter, but then you came back in the second quarter and you outscored them 23-16 in that second quarter and really put things together to take a halftime lead. They kind of took charge on the third quarter. You whittled it back and made it a game at the end. But again, Stanford's kind of their own beast and their own animal, and I think people that follow women's basketball know that. And just the effort that we put through does give us promise going forward with what we were able to see on Friday night.
Well, I just think we rode Charlize on that one. She really just, wasn't going to let us lose a game big. And really, I think the rest of our group offensively kind of let her down, or us down. Like, we've still, as good as Charlize has always been for us, we have the potential to surround her with, double-digit scoring. And not just one or two people, but we can get 3 and 4 and 5 people in double digits besides her. And we're just not quite there. I mean, we have someone have a good game, and then, we've just got to find that balance. And I like the shot selection that we got at Cal. We didn't make some of them, but there's some beauty in what we're doing, I think, right now, and I think we have a chance to get it right. And clearly we'd like to be a little healthier than we are right now. But, playing Stanford that competitively and quite frankly, Brink and Kiki never even played more than 22 or 23 minutes a game, and they had to extend their minutes to be out there. So we did a lot of good things right at Stanford, and that should give us some confidence. And right now we did a lot of things right at Cal. So we've just got to figure this out, and we got to move forward and put a great effort in on Sunday.
Sitting 11-5 right now as far as your overall record is concerned. Just the other thing that's been a little bit odd is just kind of the way that this year has broke out schedule-wise. You guys played a lot of games early. Then you had a little over 2 weeks off for the holidays, and then you had a couple of games here. Now it's a one-game week this week where you play the Huskies, and then we'll get into the routine of Friday and Sunday like we do in the normal Pac-12 conference. Not to make any excuses, but do you think that has had a little bit to do with a little bit of being inconsistent as well?
Well, no, I mean, I really don't. I mean, I just think we had a hard schedule. We, hindsight, playing at Auburn probably wasn't the smartest coaching decision ever. We put ourselves in a tough position there. But, I think the early part of the schedule is just to figure out what you're good at and what you're not good at and to get everybody on the same page. And I think we can really make some strides, now. I think we've kind of started to figure out some spacing on the floor and some things that are effective for us. And I think that's everything. If we can get the people in the right spots and let people play off of it one another, we're going to be in good shape. So, I don't know that I was real pleased in the first 10 or 12 games of consistent effort and consistent, grit and passion to play. I just felt like we were a little bit sluggish sometimes in practice. We just weren't as consistent in our work ethic as we'd been in the past. And quite frankly, just this past weekend and some of coming back from Christmas, it just felt like a different team. So I'm encouraged by that. And again, we have the pieces, and but the who we play is daunting. The league is daunting, and it's hard to even imagine winning a game when you look at some of the things that people have. But I like our chances, and I like our team, and I like our potential, and I like the fact that I think we can grow and be better than we are today.
Speaking of which, we'll talk about the mighty Pac-12 Conference. We'll talk about what's coming ahead. Again, the Cougars do have a road game this weekend. They will be at Seattle to take on the Washington Huskies coming up on Sunday. Then finally back at home. And it's been a little over a month, so we'd love you all to come out and join us at Beasley Coliseum when we return home. That'll be a week from Friday as we get ready for the home portion of the schedule. Just getting things started, so happy to have you with us from Zeppos. Again, it's the Cougar Basketball Hour. We had Kyle Smith earlier. Now we've got Cougar head coach Kamie Ethridge. It's our place to be here Monday nights, and we'll take our first break, and then we'll come back with more live from Zeppos, your Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
Basketball and is a proud supporter of people with disabilities on the Palouse. For over 50 years, Boost Collaborative has been here to help families and their toddlers meet developmental milestones. For youth and adults, Boost provides job placement, on-the-job training, and follow-along supports. Now you can play a part in Boost's success through your donations and purchases at Palouse Treasures Thrift Store in Pullman. Boost Collaborative, empowering people with disabilities on the Palouse.
Go Cougs!
The Clearwater River Casino and Lodge proudly supports Washington State University Athletics, the premier venue for events and entertainment, located 4 miles east of Lewiston, Idaho. Come hit the jackpot with us, with over 600 gaming machines, saltwater pool, restaurant, and giant screens in the Stadium Sports Bar. Owned and operated by the Nez Perce Tribe, our hospitality is legendary. Stay, play, and get away with the Clearwater River Casino. Go Cougs!
There's so much to do and see here at Washington State University Pullman, and we at the Braulsford WSU Visitor Center are here to help. And we love to help. So start your visit with us, and our team of Cougs will share insider tips on the best places to eat or where to catch a stunning view of the Palouse. We'll show you where to park, how to get to your destination, connect you to on-campus resources. So for a better visitor experience, start right here at the Braulsford WSU Visitor Center on the corner of Main and Spring Streets near downtown Pullman.
When you're out driving around the Palouse, be sure to stop by Tick Clock Drug in Colfax. Family owned and operated, they're your one-stop shop for pharmacy, healthcare, apparel, cards, home decor, and gifts for all ages. And for all your printing needs, be sure Cougar Graphics is the place to call. When it comes to paper, Cougar Graphics can print it. Tick Clock Drug and Cougar Graphics on Main Street in Colfax.
Well, we do welcome you back. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour, and with me again is Cougar head coach Kamie Ethridge, as we are with you live from Zeppo's, and again with you from 7 until 8 tonight, and then from this point forward on Mondays, we'll be with you from 6 until 7. We've got questions for the coach. If you've got questions, go ahead and jot them down, and we'll ask the coach. Also, want to let you know that coming up here over the next couple of segments after this segment, we're going to talk to one of the Cougar players. Charlize Ledger-Walker is going to be joining me up here on the stage, and we'll talk to Charlize, so a chance to visit with her. So if you've got some questions for Charlize, maybe jot those down as well, and we'll spend the entire hour talking Cougar basketball. You ready for a couple of questions, Coach?
All right, let's do it.
All right, how about this one?
Hope
we just
it's a
talked
nice
about this.
crowd.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit. The success you've enjoyed with you as a coach is unprecedented in WSU history. Is that something you think about now or save until later?
Oh, I'm so into the team that we have, and even like last year when that team won, you're just so thrilled for the kids that they put in the work and they get to have some of the success and feel some of that, just how neat it is to be noticed and valued. I think that was just so thrilling to be a part of. But it also, as a coach, and that you've coached people before that, you are so grateful for the ones that paved the way for these guys to have the success. And even those first couple of years where we didn't win many ball games, those guys competed and tried so hard to get it right for now this group that's doing it and winning. And so I have a little bit of that blood runs deep, and I have some thoughts about the past as well. I'm rarely, but at the same time, now you're into the new team. So as much as I want to live in the moment and celebrate it, we talk about it all the time. If we can win, celebrate it. Celebrate it, celebrate it. I don't care if it's a win ugly. However, you need to celebrate those times because they're hard to come by, and this is an example. This program's been in the deep, not great places for a lot of years, and now we're enjoying some success. And so let's enjoy it, let's celebrate it. But now we're 0-3 the last 3 games, so that's in my mind right now. So we got to figure that out, and we got to get better and make sure that we're, 1-0 this weekend.
Absolutely. Again, Steve Grubbs here, Cougar Basketball Hour, along with the Hall of Famer Kamie Ethridge. And speaking of which, Coach, some major ways women's basketball has changed from the 80s until now.
Why do I have to talk about the 80s?
Let's go from when you played until
the 80s.
now.
Okay, the 80s. I think the talent level is just so much better. The three-point line is the biggest thing. I played with the men's ball. So in the 80s, we still played with the men's ball. So clearly, the game has changed. The depth of the parity, how we see men's basketball, anybody can beat anybody. I think that's getting to the point in women's basketball where there's so many good players in the AAU programs that you can recruit, that there's a lot better teams across the board, not just 4 really super teams.
Right.
So I just think the talent's better, the athleticism's better, everybody's getting a little bit bigger. But it still comes down to, do you play with passion and grit, and are you tough? And we got to keep doing. Those are the things that matter most to us.
Well, certainly anybody that watched you play saw passion and grit. When did you know that you had it as a player and were going to play at the level that you were able to play at?
I think I was a junior in high school when my sister got recruited by Texas, because they recruited so late. And all of a sudden, my sister was always out of the house, and I was always a homebody. And so I was always picking up the phone when Coach Conrad called at Texas. And so she just happened to be able to talk to me as the sibling when I was a junior. So I just noticed her getting recruited. But, I was around a lot of really great role models and college players when I was growing up. But I didn't think about those things until I was later in high school. And then when I got to college, I didn't think, I'm going to start. I just tried to go to the practice and be the hardest worker every day in practice. And again, I think that's a great quality to have as a player or person or whatever you're doing in life, is just go work, and people will notice you and figure out where you need to be.
Were there other sports you excelled at or excel at now other than basketball, or was it primarily basketball for you?
Yeah, I loved tennis. I played tennis more than anything when I was little, and so much so that we had pros that really told us that my sister and I could be as good as we wanted to be if we chose by like 6th grade. We had to choose by 6th grade to do tennis, and just loved basketball and didn't want to choose, and then ended up in basketball. And I'd like to say I'm an excellent pickleball player, but I love pickleball. But that's about the only thing I can do now.
Okay.
I can't do anything else anymore. Golf. I like to golf.
Cougar Basketball Hour with Steve Grubbs and Kamie Ethridge. This one's from Ula. She wants to know, is it an NCAA violation to loan a former player your car?
Well, Ula, I need some gas right now. You want to go borrow it right now and get me some gas? I don't know about that. I'm sure we got compliance in the building. They'll probably let us know what that answer is.
All right. We love every player we've met. Do you recruit character when you're out and on the recruiting trail?
I want our players to be around the recruits that we bring in, and they probably can tell us by the time they leave if they're a fit or not. And that tells us everything about players. We don't really have there have been players that no question have come in, spent 48 hours around our players, and they walk out and our players go, first off, they could go, I don't know what they're going to do if they get here. And secondly, they go, I don't think they're going to choose us. Mm-hmm. Because it's not just always us not choosing them. Sometimes it's just like, it's obvious they're not going to choose us. They're, if you don't like these people when they're hanging out together, then there's something wrong with you. So they weed each other out, but recruiting character is huge, but it's just a natural for us. They don't come on campus unless we know them pretty well and they're like us. And then it becomes, are the things that are important to you the same things that are important to us? And if you start to go, we want NIL, we want this, why don't you have a better this? They're not going to choose us. And so it kind of just works itself out. But I bet on people, and I bet on my team all day long.
Well, you've certainly done well with that team, and you certainly love the team that you've assembled here together. Again, a week from Friday is when we're back here in Pullman. We'll talk about the Pac-12 Conference with Kamie coming up. We'll talk about the game with the Huskies coming up. We're also going to visit with Charlize Ledger-Walker. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that next. Again, if you've got questions for the coach or for Charlize, go ahead and jot them down. But Charlize.
The black eye with stitches, Charlize Ledger-Walker. Legend Walker.
We'll see the legend up here on the stage next when we return. Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Bro, you go hard for the WSU Cougs.
What do you mean?
You're literally wearing a Coug jersey that you bought from the Coug store with your Coug debit card. And you don't stop talking about how every time you use your card, Gisa donates to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
I guess I do go pretty hard for my Cougs.
If you go hard for your Cougs, get your WSU card today at Gisa.com. Go Cougs.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
At Washington State University Pullman, there's always a lot happening, and many activities are open to the community. It can be tough to know what's going on, where it's happening, and where you can park. But all of us at the Brailsford WSU Visitor Center love to help people find the answers. We keep a list of events, and I'll let you in on a secret. There's plenty of public parking on campus. You just need to know where to look. There's a new campus parking map to make it even easier, and if you need a temporary permit, we can help you with that too. We are here to connect community and campus at the Brailsford WSU Visitor Center on the corner of Main and Spring Streets near downtown Pullman.
Well, we are back at Zeppo's, and with us now is one of the star players for the Washington State University Cougars, Charlize Ledger-Walker, or some like to refer to her, Charlize Legend Walker. How are you tonight, Charlize?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. Kamie pointed it out. You want to talk about your eye in case people are watching, and you got a little bit of a shiner over there. What happened in Berkeley, and you want to take us through that?
Yep, I had a little fight with the floor, and the floor won, unfortunately. But no, just early in the Cal game, kind of got taken out a little bit, going up for a layup, and then landed on my head on the ground. Had some stitches in the end of the first quarter, and then good to go for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you came back in the second half and were fantastic in the second half. Played all 25 minutes of the second half as well as overtime. You had a Band-Aid. Did you not like the Band-Aid on it? And was it affecting your vision at all? Or was it just you didn't like it on there?
Oh, no, it's just my sweat was getting in the way, so I just had to take it off. Yeah.
All right. Again, with the senior out of New Zealand, we talked to Kamie about this in the opening segment. Your thoughts on both what happened at the end of last season with that Pac-12 championship run, since I don't think a lot of people have maybe heard from you since then, since at least on the radio locally, just the way that went, and then so far what you're thinking about so far here in 23-24.
Yeah, last season, is just so memorable, something I'm never going to forget, especially in my, basketball career. But I think just going back to that tournament, reflecting on it, the vibe of the team is something I've never felt before, especially in this program. And obviously coming away as Pac-12 champions is something, honestly, coming into the program I didn't think was quite possible until I got into the gym, and was around the coaches and the girls, and really felt like last year we just had a lot of things clicking and a lot of things rolling, had so much experience on our team, and heading into that tournament, each game, after each win, you could just feel the energy and the excitement going up every game. And when we won and, the confetti came down and everything, it was so surreal. Honestly, that whole night, I just was so shocked I couldn't even, take in that we had actually won. So just super excited. That's something, I'll cherish forever, especially with the teammates I had and the coaching staff and the likes. And so I think coming into this year, it's super exciting as well. We have an awesome team. Like Coachy was referring to before, we've had a couple losses in a row now. But again, I think the last couple games that we've had have been nothing but, exciting. I think very hopeful in our team. We've shown so many glimpses of competing really well and against really high caliber teams. You have Stanford and Cal, who is also doing great this season. They've been playing games super close, getting some top 25 wins. So, I'm just excited. I think we've gotten better this week, despite, losing. And going forward, that's kind of what we need to continue to do with the Pac-12.
When you look at the other 11 teams in this conference, and you mentioned it, everybody, every night out, the Huskies are better than we thought they were going to be. Oregon State, I think, is better than a lot of people thought they were going to be. Every night's going to be a battle, and it makes every night just that much more important to all of the teams in this conference.
100%. I think I've said it every year. The Pac-12 is one of, if not the best conference in the nation. And the teams that we go up against every single night, like there's no rest. There's no game that you can relax and kind of, take a step back, because everybody is so competitive. You've already seen in our leagues there's been so many upsets already. And so just going forward, I think each of these games, like nothing hurts us going forward in terms of if we play these games close, if we win them, losing all of that stuff. And I just think it's just so a great opportunity for us, to come up against these teams, and it just prepares us for, the Pac-12 tournament and then, beyond that as well.
As an athlete and as elite of an athlete as you are, that's got to get your fire going each and every night, knowing that the competition out there on the other side is elite as well. I mean, that's kind of what you play for, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, going up against, the nation's best is something that I think every elite player wants to do. You want to show that you can compete and, if not better, these players. And so every team that we play coming up in the Pac-12, they have players who are, top 25, top 10 in the nation. So it's an awesome opportunity every night we get to play them.
When you look at this year's team, any differences? Anything? When you look at this year's team, what strikes out to you most about this year's team, maybe from prior teams that we've had?
Yeah, good question. I think there's a couple things. I mean, obviously we're a bit younger with the freshman class coming in, and just a couple, injuries that we've had throughout the season. We've had to play and bleed in these freshmen a lot, and I think they've done a tremendous job. I mean, the impact that they've had on the game, it's so hard to come in as a freshman and have an impact straight away, whether that's scoring or, rebounding, helping the team out in any way you can. And I just want to give so much credit to them for learning, and really just we're throwing them into the fire every game that they play. And they've really stepped up to the challenge. And yes, they make mistakes. We all do, obviously, as players, but they're only getting better from that. And I'm super excited about, this program going forward with the freshmen that they have and the recruiting ability of the team, that, this program is in great hands. And I think that's probably one thing that stuck out to me this season, is just their impact that they've had and the willingness to learn and develop their games.
Being an upperclassman now, kind of being a mentor to these players, is that something you embrace?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I take it upon myself a lot to take on that leadership role and just help out wherever I can, whether that's just talking to them on the sidelines or, being the best role model I can on the floor, whether that's working hard just to show them kind of what it takes to be an elite athlete, especially at that level. And also, when it comes down to those big pressure moments, making sure I can stand up and, kind of show them that this is what it takes, and hopefully that can be them. Hopefully soon, very soon.
Maybe Sunday.
Yeah, right.
Then we get the Huskies on Sunday, again, 12 o'clock noon. We'll be in Seattle the next week right here at Pullman. Tonight we're in Pullman. It's Uppos. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour. We're going to take a break. Got one more segment with Charlize coming up. Got a question from the crowd. If you got one, bring it on up, and then we'll have some more. It's the Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing: chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill.
2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Did you disagree with that call the ref just made? Maybe it's time you had your eyes checked. Rolling Hills Eye Care provides comprehensive eye and vision exams for the entire family at both their Pullman and Colfax locations. Visit them at rollinghillseyecare.com and schedule your appointment today. That's rollinghillseyecare.com.
When you're traveling on Palouse, make sure you stop in Colfax. Colfax is home to great businesses like Pomeroy Grain Growers. For all your crop marketing needs, contact Brian or Eric. You're in good hands at Pomeroy Grain Growers. If you're considering assisted living needs, consider the Courtyard at Colfax, where it's always a wonderful way to live. And for all your gift-giving needs, Tick Clock Drug has the best selection on Palouse.
In 2004, Pullman Regional Hospital opened its facility on Bishop Boulevard. It became a model of what a community hospital could be. Word got out about the extraordinary care people were getting, and services were added so that local residents no longer needed to travel to Spokane for many specialized services. Today, 18 years later, the demand has grown, and Pullman Regional Hospital is working to meet these new challenges. Learn more at PullmanRegional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital. Your hospital.
Well, back once again here, Cougar Basketball Hour. We come to you from Zeppo, so happy to have you with us, as again, we'll be doing this every Monday night. Tonight from 7 until 8 as we're part 2. It was Kyle Smith and Matt Chasnow for part 1. You get us up until 8 o'clock, and then from this point forward, 6 until 7. Are you okay with a couple of questions, Charlize?
Yes, of course.
All right. We had one right before we went to break. You guys kind of had a theme song at the end of last season with the Pac-12 tournament. Man, I feel like a woman. How cool was that? You got to go and see Shania and just to get that national recognition during that Pac-12 run in Vegas.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, something that came to fruition that we didn't even think was possible. Obviously, you probably all have heard the story. Ola randomly played it one time in our locker room, and it just kind of stuck and became our theme song before every game, and managed to go viral on social media somehow. Chris Kasky probably putting in the work there, and managed to get us to the Shania Twain concert. So that was awesome, just being able to go there, and another experience for our team that's pretty memorable.
You have a song in 2024. What's your pregame ritual? Do you guys have a song, a dance? What's Charlize's pregame ritual going into a game?
Not a specific song, but my teammate over there, Jessica Clark, is actually a little musician, so her and Tara Wallach say they're coming out with an album soon, so if you want a concert, go to Jess.
Who's the best singer on the team?
Ooh, tough question. Probably Tara Wallach.
Okay.
Yeah, ask her to sing for you next time you see her.
Next time I see her, I'll ask her. What about who's the best dancer on the team?
Oh, definitely Jess.
Okay, Jess.
Yeah, got to give her props for that one.
Okay. How about this one? When we go visit New Zealand, what are we supposed to do? What are some must-do things if they go to New Zealand?
Watch the Tall Ferns basketball team play. That's our New Zealand national women's team. No, but New Zealand, there's just so much to do. So if you're into the outdoors, adventures, go to Queenstown, go hike, waterfalls, all of that jazz that you probably see everywhere. But just enjoy the scenery, I think, is the biggest thing in New Zealand.
What's the biggest difference from New Zealand to Pullman, Washington?
Ooh, to Pullman specifically, not much. It's like a big community, New Zealand is. Just kind of like Pullman is, but probably just the food. Yeah, just different food.
Do you have any favorite memories of Pullman so far?
Oh, geez, a lot of memories in Pullman. Just karaoke nights with the girls. I've been here a couple times, actually. Bowling nights, that's always fun.
Yeah.
But
Cosmic bowling?
What is that?
Cosmic bowling? Isn't that when they have the lights down?
Oh, I've never done that.
You've never done the cosmic
I'll
bowling?
have to do that before
try
I
that
leave.
sometime here at Zeppo's.
For sure.
Outside of the Huskies, if you could pick one team to beat, who would it be?
In the pack?
Whoever you want. But yeah, in the pack if you want.
I would love to get Stanford. I mean, have to. Yeah, definitely.
No doubt about that. Again, visiting with Charlize Ledger-Walker again. One of the leaders on this team as we get ready for the Huskies coming up on Sunday, second go-around. We talked about how this last weekend we think could be a stepping stone. And as we get ready for now the meat of the Pac-12 schedule, just how much are you looking forward to this upcoming conference season?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited for our team. I'm excited for where we seem to be heading, our momentum. I think, the energy in the gym and just the mindset, despite obviously you feel a little bit disappointed and down after losing games, especially that close. I think it's, again, a stepping stone, like I've said, going into the meat of the Pac-12, like you said. But I'm excited. I mean, they're going to be great games no matter what, and I really do think we have the potential to come up big on a lot of these games.
I think so, too. Again, 12 o'clock noon Sunday, we take on the Huskies the following week here in Pullman. Let's hear it for Charlize Ledger-Walker again, joining us throughout the show tonight. Your Cougar Basketball Hour. We'll be back, and we'll visit with Kamie Ethridge a little bit more here from Zeppo's. It's next. It's a Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
Fun doesn't end after the game. continues at Zeppo's. Hi, this is Chris. Whether you enjoy cosmic bowling under the disco lights and heart-pounding music with your best friends, or you want to go one-on-one with any of the arcade
Steve,
games,
this is break 4.
Zeppo's
Break
is the
4.
place for fun. And you can order great food while you play too, like pizzas, burgers, and sandwiches. Your place for fun anytime is Zeppo's at the top of Bishop Boulevard in Pullman, where the
Everything
Blues
sounding
comes
good?
to play and eat.
Boost Collaborative is a proud sponsor of Cougar
Yeah, no,
women's
you sound great.
basketball and is a proud supporter of people with disabilities on the Palouse. For over 50 years, Boost Collaborative has been here to help families and their toddlers meet developmental milestones. For youth and adults, Boost provides job placement, on-the-job training, and follow-along supports. Now you can play a part in Boost's success through your donations and purchases at Palouse Treasures Thrift Store in Pullman. Boost Collaborative, empowering people with disabilities on the Palouse. Go Cougs!
There's so much to do and see here at Washington State University Pullman, and we at the Braulsford WSU Visitor Center are here to help. And we love to help. So start your visit with us, and our team of Cougs will share insider tips on the best places to eat or where to catch a stunning view of the Palouse. We'll show you where to park, how to get to your destination, connect you to on-campus resources. So for a better visitor experience, start right here at the Braulsford WSU Visitor Center on the corner of Main and Spring Streets near downtown Pullman.
When you're out driving around the Palouse, be sure to stop by Tick Clock Drug in Colfax. Family owned and operated, they're your one-stop shop for pharmacy, healthcare, apparel, cards, home decor, and gifts for all ages. And for all your printing needs, be sure Cougar Graphics is the place to call. When it comes to paper, Cougar Graphics can print it. Tick Clock Drug and Cougar Graphics on Main Street in Colfax.
Well, we do welcome you back again, Cougar Basketball Hour, and with me again, the head coach of Washington State University basketball, Kamie Ethridge, as we continue to talk college basketball and talk Washington State University women's basketball. Coach did have one more question that was submitted, and the question was, how is your team doing health-wise right now as we get ready to head into not only this matchup against the Huskies, but into this first real meat of the schedule of Pac-12 conference basketball?
Good news, bad news. Charlize doesn't have a concussion, we don't think, unless she comes in tomorrow and acts silly. But, you know, just I can't say enough. Like, I kind of felt bad that I didn't run out on the court and check on Charlize, but we've never seen her stay down on the ground. I mean, in the history, we know her so well, and she rolled over and kind of got up, and I didn't even know blood until the trainers were out there. So just that was really, really just when she falls, she's really hurt. Like, she lands on her feet. She does. A lot of girls, when you watch, and a lot of women's basketball, you see people fall, and they just land on their bodies trying to get foul called, and she's never done that. And so when she stays down, it's kind of scary. But so good news is she's good and just got a little black eye. And then obviously the two big ones, B coming back is great for us. It needs to get in a rhythm and feel good about herself. And we need her just to gain confidence in her shooting, and need her to take shots and make shots. And I know she will, and because she does everything we want her to do on the basketball court. Bad news is, you know, AT is out for a little bit. Just a bone-in issue in her foot. You know, just constantly an issue. We have a little bit of tendency to have some bone issues, stress fractures, stress reactions. Hers is a stress reaction, and she'll be looked at again in another week. And I really feel like she'll be back before too long. But again, anytime we lose her for weeks at a time, these two, this weekend, next weekend, that's a big hit for us. So we really need her to get back, but I expect her back by the end of the month for sure. Kia, you know, she's a little bit away, and obviously just disappointed in just her coming back in the way we want her to. But got Jess in the house, Big Red back there in the house.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think Jess is good to go. She limps around, but she gets up and down, and she makes baskets. And so I'm just not going to ask. I'm just going to assume she's full on 100% and can go. So it's good to have her back, too, because that gives us a lot of depth in the post.
Absolutely. What did you see out of Beyonce, both rebounding-wise? Because like you said, I think it's going to take a little bit of time, and hopefully it'll come quick and getting her shot back. But defensively and attacking the glass from Beyonce this last weekend, because I thought she looked pretty good for considering that she had the amount of time off that she had.
Well, she's just a high IQ player, and she's a blue-collar player. So she does some of the things rebounding-wise that sometimes some of our players don't do all the time. We're not real disciplined at boxing out, creating opportunities for ourselves. And she's really good at just hanging out, got a pretty good nose for the ball on the boards. And, we're asking her to play off of Bella. When she was at Idaho, she had the whole lane to herself. Mm-hmm. And, she probably had 6 and 7 dribbles anytime she wanted just because of how – who she was playing against let her do that. At this level, she just doesn't get that much time and that many dribbles to create her own shot. And she's playing with a player that's predominantly in the post. So we're asking her to play a little bit more around, and then we're trying to pick and choose and get her opportunities with her back to the basket. And, again, I think we're figuring out some things for her to do that with. But she's going to get wide open 16. Even Bella made some shots against Stanford. 15-foot shots, and she's been working really hard on that. We actually, those two kids are undersized with most people we play against, so they both need to be able to shoot 50% from 15 foot, and they both can. So they need to be confident, and they need to take open shots. Even if I'm yelling at Bella not to, I really do want her to, especially if she's on rhythm and she's not thinking about it. She just needs to light it up. And I say that pretty much for our entire team. We can't – offense, you've got to create an advantage and you got to take a shot. If your offense creates a shot for somebody, they need to take that. And sometimes we think we can get something better and we don't take that one, and it ends up in a harder shot or a turnover. Mm-hmm. So I think this past weekend was a step in the right direction of us taking open shots and again shooting a little bit better percentage and again our offense is good. It's creating good shots. We've just got to knock them down.
We've talked about it a little bit throughout this hour, but just the strength of this conference, especially this season here in 23-24. And we all know about Stanford. We know UCLA is a top 10 team. USC has become a top 10, top 15 type team. Colorado is there. Utah is there. Then you got a few teams that I think are better than a lot of people thought they were going to be going into the season. I mentioned Oregon State earlier, the Huskies, California, who we just saw. I mean, just the strength of this conference, I guess, both from when you first started in the Pac-12 conference to where we sit today, and then just the pure depth of the conference, 1 through 12, is scary to look at.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anyone, really at the we're at the bottom right now, so I hope we're not. But normally you have just the last 4 are teams that can't win, and everybody can beat them. And I don't really think we have that at all. No. Teams that have been there are so solid. And Cal really has just gotten so much better defensively. Mm-hmm. And then they have these shooters that made them harder to guard. They're going to be a solid team. USC, obviously, with Juju Watkins, I mean, they've got some talent and just talent galore. So the top is still pretty special because they have bodies and size and shooters. They kind of have the whole thing. We kind of piece that together, but we don't have the size like, UCLA and Stanford and some of those guys. So, but we are who we are, and we can compete with that. I mean, Arizona right now doesn't even have a post player on their court, and they're competing every night against people. So that's the beauty of basketball. We got to stretch the floor. We got to make shots from the perimeter. We got to have smart players we have multiple players that can play in the post. Charlize, Tara, besides just Jess and some of the bigger kids. So, we have to play the way we can, and we have to have great movement and great pace because we've got some versatility and some things that we can do. So we got to improve our defense and be solid, and keep the game manageable, under 70. But I'm telling you, we got to just keep growing our offense, and players have got to step up, and we got to get 4 and 5 people in double figures. And I think if we can kind of do that on a consistent basis, we can compete with anybody in our league.
Again, been away from Pullman for quite a while. Not this weekend. This weekend we're in Seattle. The following weekend we will be back home in Pullman, and then a lot of basketball in the month of February in Pullman. So make sure you come out because every game is going to be important. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll preview the matchup against the Huskies with the coach. It's all right here from Zeppo as the Cougar Basketball Hour. Happy to have you with us from Learfield.
The Clearwater River Casino and Lodge proudly supports Washington State University Athletics, the premier venue for events and entertainment, located 4 miles east of Lewiston, Idaho. Come hit the jackpot with us. With over 600 gaming machines, saltwater pool, restaurant, and giant screens in the Stadium Sports Bar. Owned and operated by the Nez Perce Tribe, our hospitality is legendary. Stay, play, and get away with the Clearwater River Casino. Go Cougs!
With the WSU debit card from Giza, it's hard to tell who's supporting who. When the Coug fans use their WSU card, they show off their Coug pride, and donations are made back to Cougar Athletics. But the card supports the Coug fan with big savings by helping them earn 7% APY with Smart Plus checking. So does the card support the Coug fan, or does the Coug fan support the card? It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the WSU card supports Cougar Athletics and your wallet at the same time. Get your WSU card at Giza.com. Checking account transaction requirements, terms and conditions apply. Checking account annual percent yields range from 0.01 to 7% depending on balance. Minimum balance obtained APY ranges from $0 to $5,000.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
At Washington State University Pullman, there's always a lot happening, and many activities are open to the community. It can be tough to know what's going on, where it's happening, and where you can park. But all of us at the Brailsford WSU Visitor Center love to help people find the answers. We keep a list of events, and I'll let you in on a secret. There's plenty of public parking on campus. You just need to know where to look. There's a new campus parking map to make it even easier. And if you need a temporary permit, we can help you with that too. We are here to connect community and campus at the Brailsford WSU Visitor Center on the corner of Main and Spring Streets near downtown Pullman.
Well, Steve Grubbs, welcome back again. Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo. So happy to have you with us. The Cougar Basketball Show in part brought to you by Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. Celebrate responsibly. Again, happy to have the head coach here. Again, we're going to do this every Monday night. Tonight from 7 until 8 and then 6 until 7. You excited about that, Coach?
Yeah, excited. It's good. It's good.
We get the Huskies coming up on Sunday. We played the Huskies earlier in the season, second go-around. When you play a team a second time in the conference season, a lot of times it's more time that has elapsed. So do you expect many adjustments and then adjusting to those adjustments when we meet for a second time over in Seattle coming up on Sunday?
Well, again, I mean, a lot of respect to UW and Tina and the job that she's done. They have a really, I mean, defensively, they're one of the best teams in the league. They really are stingy on defense. They're solid. They can switch. They make it hard. They make it hard to run your stuff. And they just, obviously punched us in the face a little bit, and we scored 2 points in the first quarter. So I know our players remember that. And it was just an uphill battle after that. We battled back and had a chance, again, to be in that game and to win that game. And quite frankly, we dominated the second half. So, it's you've got to match up. You've got to know what you got to do to stop someone. They're good. They're talented. They're capable of beating us, and we're capable of beating them. It's a matter of, again, I think they beat us at our home court. They scored 66, but we probably fouled, four baskets. So they won at home at 62. We have to put points on the board. We have to score the basketball better than that. And, again, I think we have been doing that, and I feel good about that. I think we're going to be in good shape. But it's not going to be easy going there, but I'm excited, and I know our team is very focused about taking care of this Apple Cup.
You mentioned what they've been able to do defensively this season. Has it been much of a change? Is it personnel? Is it scheme? Is it just they're doing things better now that they've had another year under Tina? Or is it maybe a little bit out of all of those boxes for this team?
No, I don't know. I think she does a good job of teaching D, just like Cal got better defensively than they were a year ago. I just think people get people in their system. They're long. A lot of their wings are long. They're kind of big, strong wings, and so they can hurt you that way. They can guard different positions. And we should have an advantage in the post. They only really have one true post that kind of posts up. Lele is in there, Daniels, and we should have a bigger body than she is. So we need to dominate the post, and we didn't do that in the first game. And quite frankly, if we take care of the paint and score more baskets in the paint, I think we can beat them in their home court. So, again, it's still the same thing. We're not as consistent as we need to be in certain areas of our offensive game, and we've got to clean that up to give ourselves a chance to win going forward.
And we talked a little bit about it earlier in the show. Now, here in 2024, offense is becoming even more important, isn't it? It's hard to win games in the 50s and 60s now, I think, in women's basketball. And it was never easy to win in the 50s and 60s, but you need, and I've heard you reference this number a lot this season, you need 70 points. You need those 20-point quarters to have a chance to win basketball games.
Well, I think that's an interesting thing. Even when you look at Stanford, I think we held them to their lowest point total besides Gonzaga, who beat them by 20, and Gonzaga scored 90 on them. So they still scored 72, I think, on Gonzaga. And Cameron Brink played one quarter because of sickness. So, we really guarded them. We really guarded them. And so we're not a dominating defensive team. We're a real scout-driven defensive team, and we just try to take away tendencies and take away your strengths. But offense, there's no question about it. You just can't win hardly in real big terms. You're not going to go very far if you can't put, 3, 4, 5 for us now, 5 people in double figures. I mean, that gives us a chance to beat anybody in our league. When we rely on Charlie, I'd love to have her have 40 or 30. That'd be great. That takes care of a couple other double-digit scoring. But, just over time, it's kind of impossible to ask someone to carry that load. And that's where we do have the talent. L.A. as a guard can shoot the 3. Jenna Villa can shoot the 3. Tara needs to step it up and be an offensive production. Bella needs to be solid for us. Obviously, we have part, and then when AT gets back, obviously. So we have points out there, and we spread the ball and we share the ball. That's going to make us really hard for people to stop us if we can spread it around and do that well. So that's the goal. That's how we kind of play, and that's when we're at our best. But obviously having a Charlize that can get you 20 or something like that sure helps too.
Absolutely. You mentioned LA and Jenna, the Villas, again, not related, but what do you think of your freshmen so far this season?
Love it. They're tough. They're competitive. Jenna doesn't, for the most part, she can miss a few shots and not be afraid to take the next one. She can make a mistake. She made a couple mistakes on Camille in Cal, and you're just mad at her for that. And you're telling her about it in a timeout, and then she sticks a shot or sticks a 3 right after that. So she's just like, well, I'll show you. And you kind of got to love that. And L.A., I couldn't think more of her. Like, it was already, you're just going, what do we do now that AT's out? Because now it's like L.A. or Charlize have to be on the court at every time. So we start them, and then I have to find a way to get someone a little bit of rest so that I can take the other one out and put the other one in. So one of them has to be on the court at all times. So then Charlize, as selfish as she is, she goes and hits her head and takes the half off, right? Getting stitches. And L.A. has to take the whole load of Cal's pressure defense. And I think I just got all over our players during one timeout, and I just wish you had to be LA right now. She has to bring it up against that pressure. She's needing you to be open. You're not. Somebody needs to set a screen. They don't. You just have to be her right now. And I'm just giving them all sorts of grief. But Ellie really handled that, and I think she was the happiest person in the whole wide world when Charlize came back in the second half so that she didn't have to dribble every single second of the possession. But she's coming a long way to become a point guard because she's never been one. But she's talented. We need her to shoot the 3. We need her to drive it and to be unique the way she is because she can get to the rim. Again, we've got to just get her good spots on the floor to be that. I think it's good when she's point guard and Charlize can be off the ball. And then we've got Charlize in different spots. So we've got to keep moving those guys around because they're really effective all over the court.
Again, love talking basketball with her. It's the head coach of Washington State University women's basketball, Kamie Ethridge. Cougar Basketball Hour. We'll take one final break. Come back for the final couple minutes of the show. Happy to have you with us from Zeppos. Again, it's your Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill.
2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Did you disagree with that call the ref just made? Maybe it's time you had your eyes checked. Rolling Hills Eye Care provides comprehensive eye and vision exams for the entire family at both their Pullman and Colfax locations. Visit them at rollinghillseyecare.com and schedule your appointment today. That's rollinghillseyecare.com.
When you're traveling on Naplouse, make sure you stop in Colfax. Colfax is home to great businesses like Pomeroy Grain Growers. For all your crop marketing needs, contact Brian or Eric. You're in good hands at Pomeroy Grain Growers. If you're considering assisted living needs, consider the Courtyard at Colfax, where it's always a wonderful way to live. And for all your gift-giving needs, Tick Clock Drug has the best selection on Naplouse.
In 2004, Pullman Regional Hospital opened its facility.
I'm almost
on
afraid to
Bishop
ask what's
Boulevard.
going on
It
over
became
there.
a model of what a community hospital could be. Word got out about the extraordinary care people were getting, and services were added so that local residents no longer needed to travel to Spokane for many specialized services. Today, 18 years later, the demand has grown, and Pullman Regional Hospital is working to meet these new challenges. Learn more
Just
at
know,
pullmanregional.org.
3 minutes to the top of the hour
Pullman
mark.
Regional Hospital.
Mark.
Your hospital.
Well, Steve Grubbs, welcome back. Cougar Basketball Hour. Final couple minutes here of the show as we welcome you back here to Zeppos. And again, it's been a fun night. Hopefully you've enjoyed a couple of hours of Cougar basketball. First, the men's basketball hour with Kyle Smith, and now, of course, with Kamie Ethridge. And again, Coach, just excited to get back after this. We've only got a couple minutes left, but over to Seattle on Sunday, and then again back at home at Beasley Coliseum. And how important is it going to be to protect home court this year in the conference?
Well, I know it's probably being a little dramatic. Not that I'm super dramatic, but these are 2 weeks that are really key to where we're going. And nothing is outside of anything, but we've got to go be 1-0 this weekend, and then coming home with the Arizonas coming in here. And both quality teams, Arizona, University of Arizona is really good. Arizona State's probably a team that you absolutely have to win. But for our fans to come out and support us, for us to get going back to try to get to 3-3, that's what we need to be after this next weekend. And it's as big a weekend or 2 weeks for us. We need to keep getting healthier, but we also need to continue to be playing better basketball by the end of this 2 weeks.
Looking forward to Sunday over in Seattle. Looking forward to being here with you every Monday night during the basketball season. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Steve.
You betcha. Again, Kamie Ethridge. Want to thank her for being here. Want to thank you all for being here as well. Again, it is your Cougar Basketball Hour, and we thank you so much. Back here next week, 6 until 7. Happy to have had you with us. Your Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.